told the court that on May 1st, 2022, John, around Obowo area, Benin City, murdered Epihumi, he was said to have accosted the lady while she was going to church and dragged her to an uncompleted building where he allegedly killed her and left her body. The accused pleaded not guilty to the charge, while his counsel saw the date to enable him to prepare for his defense. The presiding judge, Justice M. Isuele, however, remanded the accused and adjourned the case till January 18, 2023 for hearing. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdullahi, to represent him at the United Nations Conference of Parties 27 as head of Nigeria's delegation. Based on the President's directive, Mohammed stands as head of other ministers and agencies to the ongoing United Nations Framework Conference on Climate Change holding at Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt this November. The ministry said Abdullahi would also deliver Nigeria's national statement at COP27 plenary, attend bilaterals and side meetings on Nigeria's energy transition plan, among other engagements. As chairman of Council of Ministers of the Pan-African Great Green Wall, he is expected to host a high-level meeting of member states on GGW, alongside the United Nations Convention to combat desertification and the Pan-African Great Green Wall, the ministry stated. It further said that other ministers attended alongside the Minister of Environment included the Minister of Federal Ministry of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, and Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mahmoud Abubakar. Others are Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Farouk, and other heads of agencies of government. You are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return shortly after this break.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Moving on now to the rest of our stories. Osun State Police Command has remained silent under the outcome of its probe into the alleged assault of a female cop, Inspector Bamidele Olorunshogo, by her superior, Matthew Ajayi. The two police officers are attached to the Ode Omu Police Division, Osun State. Olorunshogo had accused Ajayi, the divisional crime officer, of assault, displaying in a video that went viral on social media recently. Open wounds allegedly inflicted on her by Ajayi after she refused to have an affair with him. The incident has attracted the attention of the police headquarters while eliciting condemnation from the public. But the Osun Police spokesperson Yemisi Opalola said the State Commissioner of Police Sunday Falaye had quizzed the two cops and directed the area commander Ikire to take over the case and report back to him. However, 5 days after the Inspector General of Police Idris Akali Baba ordered investigation into the incident, the Osun Command has refused to disclose the outcome of the probe, which was supposed to end in 2 days. The 3-day strategic communication conference for state commandants, provosts of colleges, and public relations officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, tagged STRACOM 2022, has come to an end. The conference was declared open by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by the Special Assistant, Media and Publicity to the President, Mr. Femi Adesina, on Wednesday, 2nd of November 2022. It was, however, brought to a close by the Commandant General, NSCDC, Ahmed Abubakar Audi, on Friday, 4th November, at the Corps' National Headquarters, Abuja. The workshop witnessed a galaxy of resource persons who are core media professionals, image merchants, and from the academia, such as Mr. Azu Ishekwene, Editor-in-Chief, Senior Vice Chairman, Leadership Group Limited, Alhaji Yusuf Ali, Managing Editor, Northern Operations, The Nation newspaper, Mr. Iyo Bosa Owigiren, Secretary General, Nigerian Guild of Editors, Bureau Chief. This Day newspaper, Malam Yushua Shaubu, Chief Executive Officer, Image Merchants, Promotions Limited, and Publishers of News Release Platforms, PRO Nigeria, Economic Confidential Magazine and Emergency Digest. Others are Hamed Abodunrin, PhD, former Ondo State Commandant, currently undergoing senior executive course at the Nigerian Army War College, Abuja, and Dr. G.T. Joseph, an erudite scholar, author of many books, and a senior officer of the Corps. According to its communique, policy frameworks were developed, and the Corps is to expand its crisis management communication plan by emplacing crisis communication strategies that will enable seamless communication between the Corps, the general public, and media during crisis, disasters, flooding, breakdown of law and order, electoral violence or crisis, banditry, kidnapping attacks on critical national assets and infrastructure, and many other acts of infringement on the law. The CG, who spoke through the Assistant Commandant General in charge of training and manpower development, Abi David, charged state commandants and all public relations officers of the Corps to work closely with their various counterparts in security operations and other national assignments like the coming 2023 general elections, which must be conducted freely and fairly to usher in a new dispensation under a peaceful atmosphere without chaos, violence, or rancor. Moving on now to some business reports. The federal government of Nigeria has said the country will require $1.9 trillion or 834 trillion naira to attain net zero by 2060 as part of its support to the global fight against climate change and meeting the country's energy transition plan. The energy transition plan for Nigeria is said to require $1.9 trillion to get to net zero by 2060, including $410 billion above projected usual spending, which translates to about $10 billion or 4 trillion naira annually over the coming decades. The federal government said Nigeria would raise an initial $10 billion support package ahead of the COP27 holding in Egypt, adding that a $23 billion investment opportunity has also been identified based on current in-country programs and projects that were directly related to just the energy transition. A breakdown of the required spending by sector shows that $125 billion will be spent in the infrastructure sector, while $150 billion is to be spent on the power sector. Also, $12 billion will be expended on the oil and gas sector, $21 billion on industry, $79 billion on the cooking sector, and $12 billion on the transport sector. Microblogging platform Twitter has stated that it will permanently suspend impersonation accounts which do not clearly specify parody. Twitter boss Elon Musk made this known in a series of tweets today. Musk stated that the suspension would come without warning following a rollout of widespread verification. He said, going forward, any Twitter handles engaging in impersonation without clearly specifying parody will be permanently suspended. Previously, we issued a warning before suspension, but now that we are rolling out widespread verification, there will be no warning. This will be clearly identified as a condition for signing up to Twitter Blue. Any name change at all will cause temporary loss of verified checkmark. reassured users on his commitment to free speech, saying, "My commitment to free speech extends even to not banning the account following my plan, even though that is a direct personnel safety risk." He also revealed that the mission of Twitter is to become the most accurate source of information about the world, stating that widespread verification will empower the voice of the people. You are watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Still ahead, international tidbits. The death toll from Sunday's plane crash in Lake Victoria, Tanzania has jumped to 19. Tanzanian Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa disclosed this after the precision air fight with dozens of passengers aboard plunged into water while approaching the northwestern city of Bugoba. The president said, "All Tanzanians are with you in mourning the 19 people who lost their lives during this accident." Regional authorities and the airline earlier said that 26 survivors out of the 43 people on board flight PW494 had been pulled to safety and taken to hospital in the lakeside city in Kagera region. It was not immediately clear if the 19 victims included rescuers who drowned or whether the 48-seater aircraft had more people on board than previously disclosed. We are continuing to investigate. There is a possibility that 2 people were not on board but died during the rescue effort, he said. Kagera Regional Commissioner Abat Chalamila. Precision Air, a publicly listed company which is Tanzania's largest private airline, said it had dispatched rescuers to the scene, stating an investigation team consisting of Precision Air technical staff and Tanzania Airports Authority has also departed to join the rescue team on the ground. Precision Air sincerely understands the anxiety for confirmed information and will therefore do its best to issue more details. President Samia Suluhu Hassan expressed her condolence to those affected by the accident. President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Iranian arms supply to Russia is prolonging the war against his country. The president said Iran supports Russia's terrorist regime and helps prolong the war and therefore prolongs the threat to the world created by Russia's war of aggression. Zelensky also said that without Tehran's support for Moscow, Ukraine would already be closer to peace. Iran, for the first time, has confirmed it sold drones to Russia, but said this was months ago. The Ukrainian president has warned against more potential Russian attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure, while the mayor of Kyiv urged residents to consider preparing to leave temporarily if the capital lost water and power supplies. Zelensky, in his regular nightly remarks, said Russia was concentrating forces and means for a possible repetition of mass attacks on infrastructure and energy. More than 4.5 million consumers are already without power in Ukraine, amid concerns that support for Ukraine could waver as the worst effects on energy and food prices persist into winter. And now to some entertainment and sports stories. Songstress Shakira took her kids to karate class on Saturday before letting them attend their dad Gerard Piqué's final match at FC Barcelona. Shakira could be seen in ripped jeans and a grey and black tie-dye t-shirt, adding a black cap and sunglasses to keep a low profile as she took care of her sons Milan and Sancha. Later in the day, the 2 boys joined their father, Shakira's estranged husband Gerard, at his final game as a professional footballer at Camp Nou in Barcelona. The pair played with their dad on the pitch wearing FC Barcelona kits after his final match as a footballer. Playing against Almeria in the La Liga League, Gerard's team won 2-0 on Saturday night and gave fans an emotional goodbye as he walked away from the game. He was visibly upset after the match, but it seemed he enjoyed sharing the moment with his 2 boys, who shares with the Hips Don't Lie hitmaker. The outgoing game after it emerged that Shakira seems to be settling scores with her ex via her music after the Spanish footballer was allegedly unfaithful. Nigeria's representatives in the CAF Confederations Cup, Rivers United and Plateau United, have hit Libya for the second legs of their playoffs against Al Nassr, Benghazi, and Al-Qaeda, respectively. Rivers United departed via Cairo, Egypt, and connected another flight to Libya's second most populous city, Benghazi, where their opponents are based. The club tweeted on Sunday, Benghazi, Libya in a bit, but first, a brief stopover in Cairo, Egypt. Plateau United departed via Doha, Qatar, before reconnecting another flight to Libya, after which they will move to the city of Beida, where Al-Qaeda will host them. Both clubs take huge first leg wins into the ties as Rivers United dropped Al Nassr 5-0 last Wednesday in Port Harcourt, just as Plateau United hammered Al-Qaeda 4-1 in Abuja. Rivers United's victory in Port Harcourt sent strong signals of making the group stage as hopes dimmed for their opponent. We have to play a second game and we will try as much as possible to put up a better performance. We have to continue our work and I think we can change a lot of things in the next game. Al Nassr coach Zoran Milinkovic said after the game in Port Harcourt. Plateau United have done most of the work by scoring high in the first leg, but the away goal recorded by Al-Qaeda also means that the Nigerian side must ensure the Libyans do not win by more than a 2-goal margin. English player of Nigerian descent, Folarin Balogun, has become it as Olivier Giroud's long-term replacement and could make a move for the Arsenal-owned forward next summer. Giroud, who recently turned 36, has enjoyed a brilliant time in Milan, helping the Rossoneri win the Serie A title last season. The former Chelsea star continues to make a meaningful impact for AC Milan as he scored a stunning winning goal to help the Italian champions see off Spezia 2-1 on Saturday. But at 36, the end is drawing close for an accomplished career that saw Giroud win numerous honors in France, England, and Italy. A long-term heir of the former Gunner could, however, be another Arsenal star, with Milan considering Folarin Balogun as an option next summer. A possible special note could be Folarin Balogun, who is playing on loan at Reims and with excellent results. The class of 2001 already approached Milan at a very young age a couple of years ago, has so far collected 7 goals